G'day regulators. We are back. We got the 302 block happening with the Cortina. Ripped the engine out last night and just doing a bit of block prep basically. So, you know, scrape the old gasket off, using a straight edge and feeler gauges to check the deck because there was no failure. It's just sort of barely, probably not even worn out. I'm just stripping it down for the gaskets and just to freshen it up with some new bearings. You know, and doing this, we get a little bit of ugly in the coolant jackets. So what you want to do is just flush it out with a hose, running water. Same for all the oil galleries. But anyway, I'm just going to be scraping this off. I've already flushed it out and heaps of rust came out. Now I'm going to scrape all this corrosion off the block and flush it out again. So I'll be just sending a screwdriver in there. I should have one laying around. Alrighty. See, all these rust dust coming out. Once you scrape it all up, there'll be a whole other wave of rust coming out. But then you can also stick it through here and just run it all the way down. All this corrosion here. One of the most important things to keep this thing cool. Okay, so this is after the attack. Looks so much better. And now I'll just hit it with the hose. You can also remove these as well to scrape a bit more. I might actually do that. Alright, so I bought myself a cheap and nasty cylinder home. Got it hooked up to the drill here. That might be the part number there for it. Okay. So, from what I can tell here, you want to get this crosshatch to have 120-degree angles in it there. So that's going to come from how fast I spin the drill and the rate that I go in and out. So apparently you just get these, you drench the bores in WD-40 and the stones. And I'll compare it to the other ones. And don't do it much, don't do it for long. Okay, it's a little bit sort of hard to say here. I don't know if I've done it enough. They do look pretty good. The angle's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. This is the side I haven't done for comparison. In the end, they came up pretty good. Not perfect, but nothing wrong with it. So one last thing before we wash the block with a hose. I just bought one of these stones from Bunnings. They work really well just for cleaning up the surface of the head gasket. So here, you know, I've cleaned it with a knife really well, but there's still little patterns of the old head gasket, which probably ain't even that bad, but this will really scratch it down. It'll let you know if it's got unlevel surfaces and make a mad surface for the head gasket. I'm sure you could use engine oil or WD-40. I'm going to use WD-40. And try that. And this also has a coarse and a fine side. I'm going to start with the fine. because you definitely don't want to scratch it out too hard. Just use an even pressure. Okay, now I'll wipe it off and see what it looks like. So here's a little update. So you can see it's scratching here and a little bit patchy, but nothing bad. It's just how it would naturally be, and I'll just keep going with it till it all shines up. I could probably switch to the coarse side to dig a bit easier. I might do that. Alright, so check this out, it looks pretty cool. Almost perfect. Just a couple little things that don't really matter so much, and they'll just be sticking around. And this is the other side for reference. And I'll be giving this one an attack, and then we'll wash it right out with the hose. Okay, so there's a bit of corrosion and carbon build up at the bottom of these bores, more just carbon build up. So I've got this wire wheel attachment for the drill and cleaned all that up. And I also just used it for the Welsh plug sealing surfaces, and I stabbed it in there to clean up the bores a little bit more. And now I'll just sort of give the sump gasket surface a bit of a buff, and it'll be off for a wash. Now we need to try to get as much water off as we can to avoid the flash rust. And you want to blow out all the surfaces and sort of the holes for the threads, everything. Just get rid of as much water as you can. Now what we're left with is a smooth, clean block ready for a good build. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.